Hello ladies and gentlemen and all the core gamers out there, CAJman777 here, welcoming you to an indie game that is currently on Kickstarter, FictionSphere. So I got the chance to play FictionSphere here at TMG, at Too Many Games 2019. It was an amazing game, and I'm so glad that it's on Kickstarter now. I already backed it, I already put my support in, and guys, they've already reached their goal. They've already reached their goal on Kickstarter, but I figured, you know, if you guys aren't quite sure what FictionSphere is, I figured, you know, I'd play the game a little bit, show you guys what the game is a little bit about, because it is a love letter to all 90s platformers, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy that. So, obviously, we're going to go into this game. I'm going to give you my thoughts as we play through the game, and the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is that while they have already reached their goal on Kickstarter, there are still 5 days remaining left. There are technically 6 days remaining as of recording this video, but there are going to be 5 days remaining left for their project on Kickstarter, and they are almost less than $1,000 away from being able to port this game to the Switch. So if you guys are really interested and you want to see this game on the Switch, come out, definitely consider backing it up on the Kickstarter. I'll leave the Kickstarter link in the description as well. But of course, let's get right into the tutorial, learn how this game is played with you guys, and let's just play on. Alright, so part 1, movement. I'm playing on a controller, if those of you who don't know. I'm playing on an Xbox 360 controller, or an Xbox One X controller. That way it's going to make it a little bit easier for me to move around. Pressing left or right will allow you to move. Pressing the A button will allow you to jump. The longer you hold down the button, the higher your jump. Okay, we're actually going... I'm going to adjust the sound in a little bit, because it is a little loud. Nicely done. Jumping is a very useful tool for a variety of situations. So it's also got wall jumps in this game. Now, essentially, you jump, and after pressing A again, you just wall bounce. And that's really cool. Hardcore parkour! Ladies and gentlemen, hardcore parkour. So when doing the wall spring, you can leap even further by holding the direction you are facing, which is amazing. Alright, evade. Pressing left bumper will allow you to evade certain attacks. Here it comes, get ready. All you gotta do is dodge under it. I dodged early because it always comes at the attack late. So you just wait for him to charge, and then dodge under it. The evading is really useful. Unfortunately, not all attacks in this game can be evaded, but I'm sure you guys can tell a little bit by the art style that this game is heavily inspired by MegaMan and Gunvolt. I love that. I absolutely love that about this game, and I think you guys will enjoy it too. Some attacks may be undodgeable. It will be indicated by an aura that appears from the enemy. Try jumping over the enemy. Okay, didn't let me... I guess it didn't let me jump over the enemy. That was weird. That's okay, we'll jump over it again. There it is. I don't know why the other one didn't count. Nicely done. Although evading can be a powerful asset, it's also a commitment, and not to be confused with a movement option. Choose wisely. Right, so, now we get on to the attacks. This is the best part about FictionSphere. The attacks in this game are up to you. So, while you do have set moves and set animations, the way you flow them into combos is entirely up to you, which makes this game completely unique from a lot of other games. And you'll see that as we get further into the gameplay. I really like this game because of this. You can perform 3 attacks on the ground and 4 in the air. Each are stronger than the last. Every time you land a melee attack, you gain some energy, which is that purple bar that you see under my green bar in the top left. Try landing some attacks. Nice. Doing melee attacks are great to extend combos. Don't forget they also grant back meter. Very important to mix it up. Next up, try a launcher into an air. While holding up and pressing X, you perform a launcher. You'll be able to reposition yourself to deliver the coup de grace. So we're going to launch, and then we're going to go into an air combo. Oh, I missed it. Hang on. Let's try that again. Actually, I really like the air combo. There you go. Alright, those were some sick moves. I like the air combos in this game, however, you might notice that I missed the first time. Now, there's a reason for that, because this game not only has light attacks, but this game also has heavy attacks. Part 4, shooting. Pressing right bumper will perform a shot action. Each time you shoot, you'll alternate between 2 shot actions. Second action is a focused shot and deals more damage. Ranged attacks can come in handy for pesky enemies. You can mix your shots with punches as well to extend your combos. You can also do a command move called a warning shot, pressing down and then holding it. You gotta do a warning shot. Now this will launch down enemies in the air. The last hit of the warning shot can launch enemies in the air only if they are knocked down. This makes the advantage yours. Right, so now holding down the right bumper, of course, we have 3 levels of charge shot, so this is much like Mega Man right here. First charge shot's always weak, the last 2, and you'll see, the final charge shot, use all 3. So, I'm gonna go max charge, and you'll notice, this is max charge. So that's charge shot 2. Charge shot 3 is when I have the aura around me, and then this is charge 1. So any charge shot, as the game just said, it consumes your meter. Abilities are powerful skills that deal high damage. You can view the current set on the top left corner of the screen. The highlighted skill will dictate which ability. Pressing the Y button, aka a heavy attack, will perform that ability. Piece of cake. Certain abilities will consume more meter. If your meter reaches 0, or the skill requires more meter than your current, you won't be able to use any heavy attacks. Mixing your melee and shots can benefit you in the long run, as each part of those little attacks consume meter. You can toggle to the next skill by performing a melee attack. Your shot actions will not. Pressing X and then Y. So, boom, just like that. Toggling abilities during combos. You do get some insane stuff. Since your meter recovers after each melee hit, there's no reason not to use an ability. You can also toggle the set by using a skill Y. After every attack, you have a small window to activate the next skill. If the time window expires or the set has reached the end, it will auto-reset to the first skill in the list on the top left. It's important to note some abilities have different properties. You will find that the last ability of your current 3 set can do up to 3 strikes when rapidly pressing the ability button. To clear the tutorial, link them. So those are the heavy links. Now, I'm sure you guys can understand where this combo system is coming in from. It's very cool. May seem tricky, but with a little practice, you become a master. You can always change your skill loadout via pause menu to fit your playstyle. You can mix all the attack actions to come up with some artsy combos as well. Certain abilities can be powered up in EX moves when having the final charge, essentially, of your fully charged gun. That's that little blue aura. We're going to charge it, and then it's going to be a burst, and you'll see it. So we're going to charge it. So here's the burst, and now that's an EX. Although EX moves are powerful, they require more energy. Some enemies will attack you from a distance. Pressing the B button will allow you to fight back into a gallery shooter. Now this is something also very unique to the game, and you'll see it in the demo level here for the Game Jolt demo. So we do have full control over the stick here. My right stick is actually controlling this aim, and the gallery shooter mode is kind of interesting because not only are we going to have enemies attacking from the back, but eventually we're going to have enemies attacking us from the side of the screens as well. So it's also really cool on how this works. I really like the gallery shooter section. I think it's going to be very unique when the full game releases. This concludes the tutorial. So now we're ready to take on the main game. Alright, so that is a basic rundown of the controls for the game. I'm just going to skip through all of this and lower the sound a little bit, as I said I was going to do this. My god, it's loud. This game's got a really nice soundtrack, but keep in mind the soundtrack isn't finalized yet. This is still a game on Kickstarter. However, there are more. There is more things we can do. These are called trials. Now, trials are very different. These are combo-based that you can do. And you move on to all these trials, and you can see you can do it pretty quick. Trial 3, we're going to do X, Y, Y, X. You can see some pretty cool combos. So we're going to go a fully charged shot and then press Y in the air. Trial 5 is going to be XX, launch into air, and then a charge. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to hold the charge while we fight this time. So we're going to go XX, up, just like that. And you really can see like how the combos are really how the combos are really gonna form in this game. It's very cool. Whoop, I missed. Now this one's a little difficult because you have to be real close to the enemy in order to do this one. I like to push them toward the wall. As you can see, it is not easy to do. You see, I'm always missing that third hit. I do like the combo system. This one, I like the tutorials that this game gives you. There we go, we got it. Alright, this last one's very difficult. So it's X, X, right bumper, Y, right bumper, X, Y, X, Y. So, X, X. You can see some of the crazy combos you can get, though. Like, I completely screwed it up, but you can see how much damage you get on these combos. So let's try this again. X, X, right bumper, Y. But you have to do it fast. So that would have been it if I did it faster. Let's try it one more time. Forgot to hit right bumper. These are really cool combos, though. I do like that the game gives you a little bit of a tutorial and allows you to do some executable combos, because they are really fun, and you kind of get to mess with the combos however you want later in the game, so that's always a benefit, honestly, if you ask me. And I love games that are much like a beat-em-up, so we're gonna have a lot of fun with this game when it fully releases. If you guys are, like, enjoying what you see so far, there you go. That's it. That's the combo. So now, the game also has parry. So you tap forward just as the attack connects, and you parry. It's it's tougher with gunshots. I'm not being able to parry today. What is going on? Either way, that is the trial. So now let's actually get into the demo level. I'm sure this is what you guys have actually been waiting for, to really get my thoughts on it. Now, technically, not casual doesn't give you the moves, but we're gonna play with casual. And you can see it's got demo in the background there, which is really cool, and I really enjoy that. But this level gives me, like, the original Mega Man X vibes, and I just love it, because I love Mega Man. I love the Mega Man franchise. I love the Gunvolt franchise. This is just a fun game to play, and I cannot wait for the full release. Of course, the main protagonist's name is Ratio. Unfortunately, I do not have a voice for him, so I'm just going to do the best I can. I'm not very good at voice acting. Damn, it looks like that's as far as she'll go. Guess I'll have to do things the old-fashioned way. I was supposed to meet an informant around here, but things are getting pretty rowdy. Let's just hope I get to him first. Right, so right into the game, you can see that we have all of our shots available. This purple bar, every time I press Y, you can see is going to lose a little bit of meter, but every time I shoot or make contact with an enemy or press X on contact with an enemy, we are going to have the ability to, of course, do damage to the enemies that way. Now, we can also kind of stick with Mega Man-esque attacks as well, and we can use our gun for most of the level, and we can charge it as we run through the level as well. So now we have gun enemies, but you can see you can get some really cool combo systems going, and they did give us actually 2 skill sets. By hitting the left trigger on the controller, you can switch between 2 different skill sets of moves, and you can actually combo these into each other for later uses, and hopefully I'll get to show off that in a second there. Oh my god, I jumped over that guy. And now these enemies are kind of annoying, but you can see every time you switch skill sets in the top left, there is a little bit of a cooldown. Now, I do enjoy the cooldown because it just means you can't switch between them constantly. It does mean you do have to have a little bit of timing, but anytime you're followed by some clones, you do get that awesome EX attack, and I think you guys will enjoy what the EX attacks can do, because as long as I have this blue aura around me, I have this EX attack available. So, unfortunately, that wasn't a very good example. So we're going to launch this guy. Unfortunately, sometimes the attacks do not connect as well, but you can mess with the combo system however you want to. It gets a bit more interesting as you go to higher enemies as well, like more difficult enemies. So you get some really cool combos like that going, and you can... And these aren't all the moves that they're going to put in the final game. Absolutely not. These aren't all the moves they're going to put in the final game. But these are just some of them to whet everybody's appetite to see how everything's going to work for that. Now, we do get a little bit of an awesome, like, classic Mega Man X wall jumping section. These enemies are just really annoying. I'm going to grab this health. Don't really need it, but... So you can see the little EX attacks there. And enemies that wall bounce, actually, you can combo off of them. We're going to see that a little bit later. Now, this enemy, the Genie, as the devs have referred to him as, he can be a pain, but if you knock him away from his lamp, he can do really nothing. So this is a gallery shooter section. This is like the intro tutorial of how everything works. You shoot all these switches, they turn green. And you can move right in. Unfortunately, that is the loudest sound effect in the demo, and I'm not sure why hitting the switches is the loudest sound effect. It is a little weird. We get to destroy that guy. Now, of course, falling platforms, we do have our evade as well. So, obviously, I've played this demo a lot, so I do know what's coming constantly. Also, these boxes can crush you. So, don't get crushed. It's like a spike hazard in MegaMan. Just don't get hit. You'll die like instantly. No one wants to die instantly. No. Oh wow, that was rude. He's never charged at me before. That's never happened before. It's one of those instances where you can have a bunch of charging enemies. Now, right here, we're gonna have 2 enemies drop from the ceiling. So you can see the crazy EX attacks that you can do, followed by launchers, combo them into other moves. You get to do some crazy stuff in this game, and I love that. Now, this enemy coming up, he's a tough boy. He's a real hard one. Now, you can also, I forgot to mention, you can play this game with the D-pad, and you can also play this game with a regular controller. Now, this enemy can be a pain in the butt. I'll show you a parry here. That's a parry. See, I can do it on this guy, but I can't do it on smaller projectiles. I can do it on certain attacks, but not all of them. Parries, they give you a little bit of health back, and they also give you a little bit of energy back. Actually, more energy than normal. So it's always important to do parries there. I jumped into that. Wow. Unbelievable. I jumped into the shot. So that guy's always going to charge you right at the beginning. But this is the room I'm talking about. So you can walk into rooms like this and hold a charge. Now, this is really cool, because now you can really see the combo system in action here. Oh, I parried that. So, you, when an enemy is knocked down, you do get 1 relaunch into the air as long as they're knocked down properly. The relaunches are probably the most important part of FictionSphere here. The relaunches are definitely the more important attacks, and if you're just aware of how all your attacks function in the game, you'll be able to create some crazy combos very quickly. Unfortunately, I did not get a full combo in this room. I usually don't, because it usually breaks on the genie. But we do get one of these larger enemies at the end here. I didn't parry it that time. There we go. There we go. Alright, nice. Right. So these are only some of the smaller combos we can do for the game. I nearly just destroyed that. I nearly just got crushed by that box. Silly me. Don't want to get crushed by that box just quite yet. It's a little too early, I think, to be getting crushed by boxes today. So let's not do that and combo this guy. And now we get a little bit of fun. So like a lot of other platformers, there are alternate paths. There's also secret routes. So this level does have a little secret hidden room that you can use. And you might be wondering what the heck we're picking up. So what the items we're picking up are Fantaria. Then they're dropped by Phantoms and Excels. They're essentially dropped by every enemy in the game. So we're gonna EX this guy. We're just gonna shoot him. We're just gonna shoot him. He doesn't get to live. But I'm sure you guys, like, I'm going through this level pretty quickly. But there's a lot to this level to explore. If you really want to mess with the combo mechanics, I think the best thing you can do, this demo has a training room, and you can infinitely go into the training room and practice. Oh, of course, it's going to be a larger enemy. So that sound effect was actually an extra life. There we go. Sometimes you gotta be careful on the larger enemies. They do a lot of damage. For being a quote-unquote casual mode, the enemies do a lot of damage. So this is that section I was talking about. This is the gallery shooter. You can actually see the enemies do fire back. It's not like they're not gonna fire back in the tutorial. They just show you how it works. And they can send a lot of enemies your way. And they shoot rather quickly, so you do have to just be ready to move constantly. Now you notice it sent an enemy at here from the side of the screen. That is what this gallery shooter section is actually all about. It is about being able to multitask and manage not only the shots coming from the background, but the shots also coming in from the foreground, from the enemies that might be appearing on the screen. So if you do it fast enough, you're good. You do it fast enough, you're good, and you don't have to worry about it. Now this guy shouldn't charge at me. He didn't charge at me, thank God. Also, there are a lot of pits in this area as well, so just be aware, you can fall into the pit and you're not gonna live. So, recommendation, don't fall into the pit of doom. The pit of doom will end your existence very quickly. So now we're gonna get into, well, honestly, the last half of the demo here. This is really cool. They put a mini-boss in this demo for you guys. Now, the mini-boss, you might be thinking, oh, he's got a glowing eye. This is what we want to shoot, right? No, unfortunately, while his eye does take damage, this is not what you want to shoot on the boss. You can actually shoot his hands, and the hands actually have a lot less health. Now, this mini-boss has a lot of weapons at his disposal. He's got lasers, he's got a charge where he can punch. Now you do have to jump over this. You can't actually evade this. This attack specifically you have to jump over. And now he also has this laser attack, which is super annoying to deal with. That's okay though, I know how to deal with it. He's got a lot of attacks, as you can see. He's got a red core, he's got a blue core, and he's dead. So he's pretty easy if you shoot him in the hands, but I learned that at TMG. They're like, you'll do more damage if you shoot him in the hands. I'm like, what, really? And then I shot him in the hands at TMG. One of the developers actually was there for TMG. He was a great guy. I think Eric, if I'm not mistaken, Eric was his name. So I'm not very good at remembering names, but I will definitely make sure. I definitely remember thanking him for playing this demo, because I enjoyed this demo so much. Alright, so we're heading into the final stretch here. We're going to have a boss fight. Interesting. A single phantasm was able to breach our numbers. Whoa! A talking trash can. Got any other neat tricks? The pleasure of taking you out. Oh, don't be such a grouch, Oscar. I'm a human, can't you see? You can't fool me. Your Fantaria reeks like the rest of them. Rest of them? You must have mistaken other humans for phantasms. I'll make you pay. You won't be the one to collect. And so begins a boss fight versus AU4. He is an XL type enemy. He has a lot of attacks in his arsenal. Now, I do know how to deal with them. He's got a bunch of laser blasts. I can parry this last hit, actually, without worrying about getting hit. He does also have melee attacks at his disposal, but I prefer not to get hit by those. And we're going to see what he does here. Now, the bosses do have a damage threshold, in which case, after you deal a certain amount of damage, they become stunned temporarily, and you get to do a lot of free damage. I'm just going to stand here, because I don't think I'm supposed to be behind him. That's okay. Relaunch. 24 hit combo. So you can see you get some pretty interesting combos through this game, and it's definitely I'm definitely looking forward to the full game's release, because there's so much in this game that I feel like it's gonna be able to be it's gonna be able to be speed run properly, and we're just gonna have a lot of fun with it. I'm definitely looking forward to wanting to speed run this game. Nice. So we got a 33 hit there, actually. That was a pretty good combo. Parry that. And he's dead. So you do get some really cool stuff with the combo system in this game, and it's much more apparent on the bosses than some of the other enemies in this demo. While you can't combo a lot of the enemies in the demo, the boss is definitely the one you want to practice your combo strings on, because the boss is definitely the more fun of the two. Also, you get that casual A rank. Take 11 minutes. Thank you for playing FictionSphere. Any assets such as the music, sound effects, graphical images, etc. are subject to change and will not reflect on the final product. A controller is highly recommended. So the team behind this is actually Team Einherjar. If I pronounced that wrong, I apologize. But I do want to show you guys one last thing. So I did mention that there is a training mode. Now the training mode, the developer said, is not going to be back on the main menu in the full game's release. It's actually going to be somewhere completely different. But this is where you can practice doing some crazy combos. This enemy is going to have infinite health, so you can practice all you want doing all this combo, doing all these sweet combos on enemies. Now, it's cool because you can also, like I said, as they showed earlier, you can combine your buster into combos as well, and that makes this very interesting. Of course, I do have to pull my gauge back up with a little bit of purple doing this. So now we can relaunch him, because we haven't launched him yet. And once an enemy goes up, yellow like that, you can do some pretty cool stuff. So another cool thing you can really do is you can fire charge shots while in the middle of combos. So I'll show you one of those. Just like that. You can do some really cool, crazy combo things as well. And you can switch combos at free will. And what ends up really mattering is which skill is selected at the moment. Now, what's really interesting is I can actually, if you look at my 2 menus here, I can link the last skill from this menu into the first skill of the other. So I'll show you. 1, 2, Y, switch back into the link, and now we're on the other skill menu. So you can do some really cool stuff with the combos and everything. And I really like this game. If you guys enjoyed what you saw of this game as well, if you enjoyed like some of the mechanics and enjoyed how this game looks, this is the game maybe to check out on Kickstarter. Like I said, they have 100% reached their goal, but they are less than $1,000 away from porting it to the Switch. That would be the first console they port it to. Not the Xbox, not the PS4, the Switch. And because the Switch is so indie game friendly, that is going to be a great console, I think, to port it on. I will pick this version up. I will pick the digital version up. And they do have some really cool rewards for you guys on Kickstarter as well. One of them actually allows you to be an NPC in the final game. You get to create your own NPC. So, yeah. I'm just really looking forward to this game. I'm super excited for it. It's a lot of fun to play. I can play this demo constantly if I really wanted to. But I wanted to give you guys, you know, a first look into FictionSphere. It's something I normally don't do on the channel. It's a bunch of indie games, but I'd like to start doing more of those as well. Leave your thoughts on what you thought of the game in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. I look forward to seeing how many of you will actually back this game on Kickstarter. And of course, guys, until then, this is CAJman777 signing off. Stay safe, everybody.